Hello, 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 hello. My name is Nicholas Rivas. I do videos on politics and stuff, but today we're going to be talking about some UFC things. Man, it's the end of an era. I coined this term uh back a few maybe like a year and a half ago. Called this current era of the UFC the African, kings era. Even though not all champions were from Africa, you had one of the most exciting, thrilling champion runs from three African, champs. You had the heavyweight Francis Ngannou from Cameroon. You had Nigerian fighter Kamaru Usman and Israel Adesanya all running through their divisions. And I coined it the African era. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has called it that, but I was calling it that. But their runs have been pretty significant in getting me back into the UFC after during the Conor McGregor era. I kind of just dropped UFC. I was pretty big into UFC during the Anderson Silva run, and I kind of dropped it around 2014, 2015. I think I just maybe didn't have too much time. I would watch fights here and there. I remember even when Khabib was fighting the big Conor fight, I kind of didn't care. Like I just kind of saw it after, and it was weird to think that something just maybe gotten out of it. I mean, it happens all the time. Like there was a point where I quit playing Call of Duty. Like just happens. And oddly enough, I got brought back during the times of Kamaru Usman and Francis Ngannou and Israel Adesanya. And to me, that's been some of the best runs. And to a lot of people, they took it as boring and I don't like it. And I don't blame them. I'm not going to sit here and say your taste doesn't matter. But I thought this was some interesting times. But I think we are entering the end of the eras. So, of course, Kamaru lost, which was insane, which was crazy to see. As a Kamaru, I like Kamaru. Like, people like to crap on the guy. I like Kamaru. I think he's interesting. I think he's a great fighter. As someone who's a wrestler, I enjoyed his wrestling, and I really got inspired by his wrestling. And yeah, not all of his fights were the best, and even as a champ, I was kind of like, okay, this guy's kind of annoying. I still liked him, and maybe because his opponents I just couldn't stand. Like I'm not the biggest Colby Covington fan. I'm not the biggest Jorge Masvidal, even though I think those guys are fun. Even though I think they're all good, I looked at their cards and their whole shtick as something that I didn't really care for, and I just wanted Kamaru to win. So yeah, I'm not the biggest Kamaru fan, but man, he grew on me, and then I just kept rooting for him. And against Leon Edwards, I was like, yeah, even though that wasn't the most exciting fight, it was a cool little show of wrestling and how this guy has just such a high fight IQ. Now, of course, when he got knocked out, that shook and everybody went crazy. But man, I was rooting for Kamaru. Man, I wanted him to win, and to see him lose was like, man, that's crazy. It didn't like hurt me. I wasn't like crying in my bed because even though I did like Kamaru, even though it was kind of hard to watch the clip sometimes, just seeing that like lucky hit. Not to say it was all luck. I love Leon. That underdog story, man, tears me up. But to see Leon or to see Kamaru lose being so close to be considered the GOAT, even though he's still, a legendary fighter from his accolades currently, it was rough because I liked the guy. I thought he was cool. I thought he brought something exciting to the division. He was always fighting, so I give him that. Like, you can't say that for a lot of champs. And maybe my bar is low, but I liked Kamaru. Seeing him lose sucked, but you know what? It also brought some life to the welterweight division. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's a boring division, but after Kamaru goes through everyone, you're just like, what's next, right? And so this is definitely a life needed for the welterweight division. So, okay, one of the African kings, they gone, but we still have Francis, right? Well, even before Kamaru fought, um, seeing Francis go through Cyril Gane was like amazing to me. Like I like Francis, and I think the dude's cool and pretty funny, and like just a great fighter all around. And his fights are always fun to watch. After that Cyril Gane fight, everyone suspected that he's probably not going to fight again, given that he has to have surgery, and he's already having some turbulence with Dana and the whole UFC. So, understandably, people are like, is this guy even gonna fight? Is he just gonna use, his injury to like vacate the title? He wants to go box, so do you think the UFC is gonna let him? Probably not. It's something that I think most people are in agreement that Francis may not come back. If he does, I mean, cool. That's gonna be great to see another Francis fight. But don't hold your breath, right? So that's kind of where many people are when it comes to the Francis of the worlds. When it comes to the heavyweight division, you just kind of assume he's probably not coming back, which sucks, but just kind of part of it. So there goes that champ, even though not the longest run and not the craziest set of fights, but still fun. But okay, that era is kind of over. That comeback from Stipe, that fight with Ciro, like, not the craziest, but man, it was some good ones. But still, like, I had a good time. Don't want to see that end, but it's part of it. Like, not all fighters lose by fight. As being a UFC longtime champ, whatever. But already two of these African champs are gone, and it's like, damn, that was a little mini error. That was a little mini time amongst these three divisions: middleweight, welter, and heavy. But fast forward now, you have Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Fight hasn't happened yet as of me recording this. There's been no Alex Pereira sleeps Izzy. There's been no Izzy sleeps Alex, or Izzy gets decision. We haven't got that yet. So I'm speaking out of my ass here, and maybe future me is gonna look back like, look how stupid I was. But currently, as we speak, I believe that Israel Adesanya will lose, and this will be the end of the African run. Now, here's a few reasons why. Obviously, Izzy lost to Alex before. It's not foreign to think that he's gonna lose again, right? Like, it's not that crazy. Even though I think Israel has grown as a fighter, Alex looks like a different beast. And if anyone can beat him, it's probably going to be, because also Israel looks good. Israel has always looked good. And the only person I think that could theoretically beat Izzy is someone like Kamsat or Alex. This beast who's tearing up the division, who's really bringing something new, who is ultimately going to be the hardest adversary that the champ has to go through, right? And Alex has already beat Izzy. He's knocked him out. He's been the only guy to knock him out. And he looks like he still has that knockout in him, given to what he did to Sean Strickland, and to every fighter so far that he's done. Alex looks crazy, and Alex also doesn't look phased by Izzy. Like, he might have a chip on his shoulder type of thing. Like, he might come into this too confident, but he's also a guy who was at 12 working in a tire shop getting drunk. Like, the guy has struggled and has basically made a place for himself in the UFC division. I can't see this guy not fighting for his life, in this ring, in this division. I just can't. I should preface this is that I am an Izzy fan. I like Izzy. Like I just said, I just kind of vouched about this era of UFC that I thoroughly enjoyed. Not everyone likes it, but I did. So, call me cuckoo bananas, but I want to see what this division brings. But I'm also fucking sad to see the middleweight champ lose, because I like Izzy. Like, I don't want Izzy to lose, man. Don't do this to me. So I'm conflicted. I mean, forgive me for being conflicted. But so I think this is the end of the era. I think we're gonna see the champ unfortunately get beat. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm sad. If anyone will beat him, it's going to be Alex, man. It's gonna be Alex. Like, I can't see why like it's gonna be competitive. Don't get me wrong. Izzy knows he has so much to lose right here. This is his last chance to ever beat Alex, because if he beats him here, it's done. Like, Alex is not gonna get another champ fight. So I can see both of these guys saying like, hey, this is it. So that's why I don't even think Izzy's gonna or Alex is gonna come in this like, yeah, I won. Like, I just can't see that. Um, but I'm also like, we don't know what's gonna happen between these guys. These guys have such history together. It can go either way. Like this fight's gonna go crazy. But I think this is the end of the era because if Izzy survives this, he will have to fight a Kamsat. He will have to fight another guy. And I don't even think he's gonna be able to beat and combat with Alex. So I can't see him winning, and I don't want this to be. I want Izzy to stay champ. I like this Izzy run, even though it's not the most exciting from the last two fights. You still had some great ass moments, and yeah, the Costa fights. You had uh, the Costas, the Whitaker fights, and I know that the sequels haven't been the most exciting, but when we're playing champ, you got to be smart. Like I ain't gonna fault the guy for wanting to be a smart fighter. Give it the anger to half the anger goes to the people who he's rematching with. Like they're not bringing anything else. So I guess we'll see how it goes, but ultimately, I think the three champs are losing, and it's a whole different era. And I mean, we're seeing this a lot. All these champs just losing. I mean, we saw Rose lose. We saw God, who's it? Oh, Brandon and Figgy go back and forth. We're seeing Charles lose. Like this is an era of champs losing right now. so so yeah, I guess we'll just I guess we'll end it here and let it go from there. But um, yeah, thank y'all so much. I think it's a good place to end it, and I love y'all. Be safe.